Hey girl, it's that time of the week again, and I am bringing you a new episode. I'm sharing with you a question that you can be asking yourself to escape denial or even to find if you're in denial, because maybe right now you feel like, I don't know if I'm sick enough. I don't know if I have an eating disorder. I don't even know if I have an unhealthy relationship with food, and you're questioning it. Honestly, I went through a phase of this myself, so it's common. Also, you may be in a place of, I know there's a problem, I'm just unsure of how to get support and help, and I don't know how bad it is, and therefore, I know I don't want to do this anymore, but it feels very confusing. What is the next step? In today's show, I'm going to be answering some of these questions. I'm going to be talking with you about denial and about absolute confusion in terms of having an unhealthy relationship with food, because it's scientifically proven that this occurs with those that are malnourished. I really think you're going to enjoy today's show. Listen in, friend. I can't wait to get started. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsay Nickel, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you, because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess trapped in a destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom, and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it, so you can start living your best life as your best self. According to the recoverytreatmentcenter.org, anosognosia is without knowledge. It's this physiological damage to literal structures within the brain. It is a complete distorted attitude and perception of your body, of yourself, dysmorphia at its finest. Maybe you feel like you just aren't sick, that you don't feel like you have a problem. And honestly, this can happen with the sicker and sicker that a person gets because of the mental illness of an eating disorder. I'm not going to be all clinical on you today, but I do want to talk about the difference between anosognosia and denial, because denial is when you know you've got a problem, but you refuse to do anything about it. You're like, I'm not doing this. I don't need help. I don't have a problem. I'm not sick enough. And everyone around me is freaking out for no logical reason. But there's this other side of it. It's you've been maybe doing these patterns and behaviors for so long that you literally feel like there's no problem. You literally are in this complete, absolute confusion state and unawareness. Anosognosia is a severe illness, and this impairs your ability to understand and even perceive your own disordered behaviors. It literally is a refusal to recognize a clinical disorder. And I won't pretend to know all the details on this, but this is so much different than being in denial and using denial as a defense mechanism. So I wanted to start there, because in today's show, I'm going to talk a little bit about a question that I feel like is going to help you and define you wherever you're at. Maybe you know that you have an unhealthy relationship with food, and that's why you're here. That's why you're listening, because you want to know how to get out of that. You want steps. You want a roadmap. Well, sister, I am your girl. I'm here to help you. I'm here to support you. I'm here to hold your hand along your recovery journey. I have got the roadmap to recovery for you. I can do so in my private, personalized one-on-one support. You can find us at lindsaynickel.com, and the services and all the goodies are out there to support you. However, there's also many of you that might be listening and you're dipping your toes into this place of others around me are telling me I have this problem and I'm not believing it. And what I wanted to talk about today is how normal that is when you have a malnourished brain. If you've been restricting a bunch of food, or you have this crazy eating ritual or patterns where you're just not allowing yourself the proper amount of nutrition, and your brain is malnourished, how do you feel like you are going to be able to clearly state that you have no issue and you have no underlying concern or anything to be worried about to others when you're literally not able to function in your mind clearly enough? This is what I'm talking about. When I was struggling with anorexia, I felt like I was on top of the world. I had this superiority complex, like everyone else was just jealous that they didn't have the willpower that I had. And I felt like I just wasn't sick. I felt fine. I felt great. I felt like I was on a caffeine pill all day long. I felt like I was taking over the world. And the more I restricted, the more satisfaction I achieved and the more in control I felt and the more I felt like everyone else was just crazy and they were the ones losing their mind and they were the ones with the problem. And I sat in that place without knowledge of literally what I was doing to myself for quite some time. It's okay if you're there. Because I encourage you to keep listening into the show, because the more and more you get knowledgeable about what you're doing to you, the more and more you're going to come to a place of acceptance that, gosh, like I have realized I've got this awareness of something's not right in my life and I really want to change it. But if you're not there yet, that's okay. I just want you to leverage today's show. I want you to ask yourself this one pressing question that I'm going to share with you shortly. And I want you to understand that this illness, it literally impacts your brain. So if you have a malnourished brain, if you haven't been feeding yourself properly, how are you going to be able to clearly know that you can trust yourself, especially when you've got that little voice inside of your mind telling you all these things? I want you to realize, sister, that that voice is not you. That voice is not you. Normally, with a healthy brain, you can assume positive intent. You can assume that that voice inside of your head is like, you need to eat, and this, that, and the other. Like, that's positive, intuitive brain and wisdom, because you're nourished and your body knows when it needs to eat and your body stops when it is full. That is a normal experience. When you have a malnourished brain and you've restricted it for some time, it's important to challenge your mind with every tiny little thing. If people are coming to you and they feel like there's an issue, they are people in your circle that you love and trust, I want you to look into that. Ask yourself, is what they're saying actually true and I'm just not willing to hear it? Or is what they're saying borderline truth and I've been living in this dark cloud? For months and months on months and months, I lived in a place of not believing that I had a problem, not believing that it actually was true. I just thought I was healthier than everyone else around me. And I walked around with that truth. I walked around like I just had more willpower not to eat the brownie. I walked around like I preferred to not have carbs or to not choose this or to look at the menu before going out to eat with friends. Like I wore it like an identity. It was a badge of honor to me. If that's you, today's question, I really hope is going to shake you. And that question is, how are you? No, but how are you really? How are you really? I want you to ask yourself, how are you? Are you good? As in you're okay? No one that says like, I'm good, I'm fine. Those are underlying responses to a subconscious unsureness, to this place of hesitancy, feeling unsure. If you don't know, then I want you to challenge yourself of what that actually means. And this is why coaching is so important. And this is what I do in personalized private sessions with my clients. And if you want to learn more about that, I've got 2 slots left for the fall. Reach out, lindsaynickel.com. You can fill out a client application and I will meet you there. But I want you to do this exercise today. I want you to take a step in to yourself, to your mind, and ask yourself the question, how am I really? Like, how am I doing? Legit, how am I doing? If you're constantly telling yourself that you don't need to eat, and you're constantly telling yourself that you're not hungry, and you're constantly bargaining and constantly coming up with ways that you can skimp or restrict or not do something because you're terrified of gaining weight, or this is how you've always been, I want you to challenge that belief. That isn't truth. You have convinced yourself that that's who you are, and therefore you are living in a place of total confusion, absolute unawareness, impairment of what's truly real, perception of who you are that's dysmorphic. And the sicker you get and the more obsessive you become and the more rigid you become, don't take my word for it. Like I'm sure if you're sitting here listening to today's show, You didn't just start avoiding certain things, right? Like you decided to get on a diet, or maybe you were like a chronic dieter because of what culture does, or because of a sport you've played in, or because something you participated in, right? Like for me, it was figure skating. And I decided I wanted to lose 10 pounds. And how did I do that? Well, I just stopped drinking soda. And then I stopped eating so much bread and pizza and all the stuff I was doing. But then it didn't just automatically equate to, oh, I think I'm going to wake up one day and have 500 calories a day. Like, that's not how it happened. It was like, yes, quicksand, and that it got me really quickly and it gripped me and it chained me and it controlled me. And it was almost impossible to free myself from, but therefore it was possible because I'm here living proof of it. Yet, I was in this place of, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it because I'm believing the lie that thin is in, and I'm going to hate myself because I'm going to feel unworthy if I'm a certain size or if I gain weight or whatever that belief is for you. For me, I just wanted to feel in control. I wanted to be good enough. I wanted to be the best at something. And I knew that I could control this secret in my life, and therefore it sent me down this spiral. But I didn't even realize it until I was stuck in the pit of how far it had taken me. It took me to hit rock bottom. And the entire time, it was tunnel vision. It was a game, right? It was like, okay, I've lost 5 pounds. How can I lose 5 more? How can I lose 5 more? Okay, I'm down 15 more. How can I lose 5 more? How can I do more? And I got really good at playing the game. And maybe that's you. Maybe you're really good at playing this game. But when you get to this place, you don't even realize the damage you're doing. Your brain's not even functioning at a level that it should be at. You're malnourished. Your body is starving, yet you don't feel hungry because you haven't been feeding it enough to understand what that means. Like that pain of hunger eventually goes away, and that's not to be triggering, it's just to be truthful. And then you wake up and you're like, well, I'm not hungry, therefore I'm not a breakfast person. Or I'm not hungry, therefore I don't need to eat like they do. Sister, that's a lie. That's a lie you've been believing. And if you can ask yourself this question of how am I really? Like, how am I? How are you, sis? Are you good? Are you okay? Are you making it? Are you in survival? Are you struggling? If you can answer the question and get to the root of that question, that's going to set you free. Because if you're in this total place, absolute confusion and unawareness, maybe you really don't know. Maybe you really feel fine. But what is fine to you? I want you to think about the patterns in your day, the behaviors in your day. And I want you to sit with yourself and say, is this something that I'm used to doing? Is this something that everyone around me participates in? Like, is this normal? Or is this something I've adopted as my truth? Is this something that I've always been like in terms of even when I was a kid? Or is this something I've adopted as my truth? Because the reality is, denial is when you know you have a problem, but you're just unwilling to make the choice that you need to make to sit in the problem long enough. And so you stay stuck in fear. You choose to go, okay, not today, not doing that today. I'm going to sit in my procrastination. I'm going to believe that what I'm doing is just who I am and it'll be fine. And I'm fine. But how are you? Sister, are you really fine? Are you really okay? It's okay as the first step on this path and this road to acknowledge you're not fine, to acknowledge you're not okay. To acknowledge that you're in the quicksand and it's pulling you down. It's okay to acknowledge that you need help and you need support and you can't do this by yourself. The first step is to assess where you are. The first step is to go, okay, let's get the blinders off. Let's put on a new filter. Maybe I have a malnourished brain. Maybe I'm not thinking clearly. Maybe I legit think I'm fine. But if everyone else around me is calling these things out, and even parts of me know that I haven't always been like this. And yes, I've had unhealthy relationships with myself and my body, but even that isn't truth. Maybe I need to focus on what is right in front of me. And that's that these patterns and behaviors are not fine and I'm not fine. That is assessment and awareness of where you are. You can't change something you can't name. You can't change patterns and behaviors that you can't accept are patterns and behaviors. And the first step forward is to acknowledge, how are you? How are you really? How are you? I want you to ask yourself that question today. Denial is a defense mechanism. It's a place of coping. It's a place of not wanting to acknowledge the truth. But sister, the truth is going to set you free. Until I got real with myself and realized that I wasn't okay and I wasn't fine and I was sick. And even when I didn't feel like I was sick enough, I knew what I was doing just wasn't right, but I didn't want to face that. It felt better just to continue along that journey than it did to like wave my arms and ask for help, because that to me equated to failure. I want you to hear this today if you heard nothing else. You are not a failure for getting help and support. The only way you fail is if you quit. The only way you fail is if you stay chained to this disordered relationship that you've established with food and yourself. There is freedom possible for you. You deserve a life of freedom. The first step is to assess and become aware. And then I want you to start embracing that and accepting that and make a choice to change. Make a choice to change. Sister, how are you today? How are you really? Answer that question. And then I want you to escape the denial and escape the blinders and escape the pit so that you can find true freedom. It's available, it's possible, and it's real. And sister, if you're looking for that, I encourage you to keep showing up. Keep diving in to these beliefs that you've put on you like a badge of honor. Don't give up on you. Don't give up on you. And I promise I will continue to pour into you on the show. I will continue to be this place of inspiration. But until you choose you, until you say not today, not anymore, am I going to be stuck in this place of paralyzing fear and just sit here? Not today, not anymore. I'm not a victim. I realize that I've been stuck in this path where I don't even believe, maybe my brain's not even functioning enough for me to believe that this is a problem. What are the signs that this is a problem? Have I seen a clinician and they've told me so? Are the people around me concerned? What patterns and behaviors have I done that have gotten me here? Are those patterns and behaviors typical? Do I have a healthy and typical relationship with food? Like, I want you to assess yourself because it's important. It's important that you acknowledge right where you are so that you can do the next right thing. The next right thing. Question yourself to change yourself. Question yourself to grow yourself. Question yourself to escape denial, to escape the damage, to escape the distorted attitude and the misperceptions of who you are, the dysmorphia. Sister, you're so much more than this. It's time you start seeing who you truly are and start living into the worth of you. I hope today's show has blessed you, and I want to hear from you. Shoot me an email, info@lindsaynickel.com. I want to hear from you. I want to hear what kind of episode topics you want to hear next. I want you to be a part of our free private community. I'm about to drop a super cool giveaway in there and talk a little bit about upcoming programs and resources that you can get plugged into. I also have a new website that we've been designing on the back end. You can check it out at lindsaynickel.com. I want to hear from you. I'm blessed that you spent today listening to the show. And if this has touched you, again, ask yourself, how am I really? Answer the question and get real with where you are in your step of the journey so that you can take the next right step forward. Sister, if you're ready for that support, accountability, and you're ready to surrender, like you're done, you are donezo playing small. Fill out a client application. You got this. You got this. And I'm here to hold your hand along the way. Until next time, bye for now. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time, bye for now, girl.